around their waist, Ashley. I can see him doing it. Like your oldest.
Ready to dive in, yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot.
And how close again to the base?
I'm like 8 minutes away. I'm very close to the base.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's nothing for something that's in the air too. So you probably have stuff zooming over you constantly. You're right.
Constantly. It's it's all kinds of stuff. I mean, we're used to you'll hear fire jets just going off. We're used to that kind of stuff. There's constant helicopters. There are, now that we know that they're here, but there are black helicopters. Which once upon a time they were fabled, not real. Well, they're out here all the time doing. I don't know. There's all kinds of stuff that's constantly happening in this area. And I kind of have a weird theory about it. I'm not going to say for sure, but Dayton, Ohio. So I live in a suburb of Dayton. I don't actually live in Dayton, but Dayton is very poor. It's a very poor city. It's very poverty stricken. And then the areas that the base touches, because like I said, the base itself is a whole fucking city. And the areas that are like the poor suburbs or the poor, areas in the Dayton area. And people will come to me and tell me all kinds of weird stuff. There's like a little lake on one side of the base that people will kind of tell me about. They'll see like weird things happening in the lake, like things coming out of the lake rippling for no reason, weird things. Anyway,
like lights coming out of the lake.
Sometimes lights, sometimes actual metal craft, but not like big craft, like little drones coming out of the lake. All kinds of weird stories. But I have a theory that they put these bases in the middle of poverty-stricken areas because people that are poor are too busy trying to live to give a shit about UFOs and what the government's doing behind their back. And so when I kind of tested this and I started looking at other bases around the country, it's true. And it's weird because the civilian workers there, again, they're people that come and go every single day. You don't have to live there to work there. None of them live in Dayton. They all live in the ritzier areas. I live in Kettering, they live in Beaver Creek, the richer areas, they live there. So you have this installation that offers thousands and thousands of jobs to people. You would think that the area around it wouldn't be living in poverty, but again, all the bases are like that. It's really strange. I don't know. It's something I've been working on for a minute. I haven't looked at every single base and their demographic for all the people who live around it, but so far it's checked out with a lot of them. And it's really.
Do you think that has anything to do with the fact that they have to keep housing low so that they don't have to pay more in housing chits to military members who use the military to pay for their housing?
What do you mean?
I mean,
so the land itself is cheaper?
If I had a company and everybody worked in my company I had to pay their rent, I would try to make sure that the rent in my area was low. And then all the houses, the people that work there they don't want to live in that area, they want to live somewhere else. Now there's an open house at cheap rent that somebody poor is going to move into.
Well, the only people that live on the base are active duty military.
And the people in the military active duty get a check.
Right.
For housing off base as well. They don't have to live on base. If they're married and they have a kid or any of that kind of stuff, they get money to live off base.
Right. I got you.
And all I'm saying is they pretty much have to keep housing low around there so that they don't have to pay Northern Heights prices for ghetto areas.
They don't want to pay big rent because they pay $10,000 for hammers and stuff like that.
Sure. Well, but like I said, people that work at the base don't live in Dayton. They live in $500,000 homes. They don't live in the poverty area. And so I'm not saying that absolutely nobody does. I'm not talking to every single person that works at the base, obviously, but it just seems that way. Everybody that I know that works there doesn't actually live in Dayton. They all live outside of it.
Yeah. They can afford to.
Enzo in the chat says the areas around many bases aren't of high value because most don't like to hear the racket from the base on their planes.
Yeah, good point.
Right on.
It could be. It could be. I mean, but even these areas, I mean, we still hear it. Again, it's not small. It's not a small area. It's huge. It spans over like 4 or 5 different cities. It's massive. There's no way you can really get away from it. I don't know. Like I said, it's just something that I kind of hit me one night. I was like, that makes sense, because you get a lot of people that are like, oh, I live right next to the base, and this weird thing happened. It probably happens all the time. I mean, honestly, this stuff happens constantly around there. But I also have, I have people that I talk to who I can't disclose. One of them, I think I'm getting ready to be able to disclose, because he's getting ready to die. As sad as that is, but he's old. He's worked at the base for a very long time. He's retired now. He wanted to explain to me his experience there while working at the base and some of the things that he saw. We don't really know what to do with that information yet, if we're going to do anything with it, because now he's got family. I don't know. It gets kind of weird. And again, I'm not a big government conspiracy person, but this is where it gets odder. I have another person who is a private contractor for the base. And then I've got somebody else who works actively, currently, right now at the base. All 3 of these people don't know each other. All 3 of them share the exact same thing. And honestly, it's a lot more horrifying than anybody can even imagine. What they tell me is that the government has no fucking clue what these things are. No idea. None. They have no idea. They just know that there's technology that we don't understand, that we even have some of that technology, but they're scared to even play around with it, because when they do, shit gets weird. And it's very interesting to hear that perspective when you just grow up a weird kid looking at all this stuff, and it's like, oh, the government's hiding all these things from us. The reason why they're hiding it is because they don't know what to tell people, and people would be more scared of the fact of the government, something that's supposed to protect us, saying I don't know, than anything else.
If that story is true, then that would put to rest some of the stories from people like Bob Lazar and the Roswell crash, and what we all people say that we've learned from. I know right here, our buddy Big Willie just asked, do Ash and Ryan truly believe that the Roswell crash retrieval was taken to the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base?
Definitely.
Yeah, I do. I believe that, and like I said, the gentleman that's on his deathbed right now says that, and says that bodies were recovered, but we still don't know what they are.
Yeah, it's probably all still at Wright-Patterson Air Force.
So we know some things.
It's probably still there
that the government has,
in a basement
just like
somewhere.
We see right now UAP disclosure everywhere, right?
Little nuclear pile there
they're
running
they're going, hey, there's these crabs,
yeah,
and
bodies
they can do
in
shit
the deep freezer.
or
Been
whatever.
running for 70 years now.
That's pretty much been the
Pretty
story
good.
this entire time, was
Pretty
that
good operation
yes,
time
they're
for this
aware.
machine.
Maybe they know a little bit more than
Old
the
ammonia
average
refrigerator's
person,
still going after
but not
70
much.
years.
Like I said, was
probably
the
Frigidaire,
Roswell
sure.
crash happened? Of course it did. They admitted that it did immediately.
Hi,
And
Chad.
then, hi Chad.
Stop this
And then
video. This is
Broadway
audio
pieces to
only.
Dayton, Ohio, and they're still there.
You're
And they
listening to
tried
Monster
testing that
Radio on
technology.
Paranormal
Don't know how
Chop
it works,
Shop.
So they did. Well, was an interesting case.